I think we're in an era right now where the human element is more important than it's ever been. AI can do a lot of things, but what AI cannot do is it cannot replicate the inner soul of a person, the inner, the feeling and the emotional context and the hands-on experience. It doesn't matter how much you program it, in my opinion. There are things that AI is never going to be able to do that humans can do with effort and concentration and focus and just caring about the outcome. I'm wasn't even recording. Listen, all right, I know that we're podcasting right now, but I was trying to make a Instagram reel and say that we are podcasting right now. Ooh, look at that. We got something going on back there. And we have our friend Alyssa in the background. Look, she's trying to record me saying something stupid. I already did that.
I was going to say, I think we've succeeded on that. But this is officially episode 3 of Beyond the Forecast.
Yeah.
So those of you that have listened to the last couple, we're talking about topics in meteorology that go beyond just how to forecast the weather, and just some of the key things that we're going to have to be on the lookout for in the years to come. And I want to go into that for today's topic, is what to expect in the future, because I think that over the next couple of years, for those of you, especially for your business that are looking out for weather support, there's going to be a lot of things that come out over the next couple of years, and it's already starting, that have the AI tag on it, right? And I think it's important we talk a little bit about AI, the pros, the cons, what it can do and what it can't do. So I guess just to start, Michael, what's your overall view of how AI is incorporated into the weather forecast community?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would like to say real quick, make sure you guys are sharing the show with your friends, and give us a review on the show, if you will. Give us a 5-star review. Those are fun.
Yeah, those are fun.
But if you find any value, any interest, makes you laugh, whatever the case may be, please share and tell your friends to watch and listen. But my opinion on AI, I think, I kind of feel like I'm going to give away a secret. I don't know.
Well.
But anyways, I'll give it away. I think we're in an era right now where the human element is more important than it's ever been. AI can do a lot of things, but what AI cannot do is it cannot replicate the inner soul of a person, the inner, the feeling and the emotional context and the hands-on experience. It doesn't matter how much you program it, in my opinion. There are things that AI is never going to be able to do that humans can do with effort and concentration and focus and just caring about the outcome. That's the other thing is AI doesn't care about the outcome. It doesn't matter. It's a computer.
Yeah.
It's a robot. But when you think about the atmosphere and the dynamics and how the atmosphere is very fluid and how it works, there's no way that AI, in my opinion, is going to be able to really understand it as much as the person that created AI. Or as much as the meteorologist that's studying that. Again, I use AI every day. Like the Grok tool on X is incredible. It's unbelievable how good it is, but it still cannot fill the void or the spot that I think that people long for, which is human interaction. Think back to COVID. Think back to when everybody was secluded and forced to work from home, and people were like, gosh, we were miserable because we're not seeing people. All we do is meet behind a stupid screen every day with a camera. And we really wanted to see people and interact with people. That's our nature. It's that's how God created us. It's we We long for that. And AI is it's a great tool, but it is not the answer.
And I was going to say that, I think that in terms of weather forecasting, I think that we're starting to see some AI incorporated into weather models a little bit. But I think, again, to your point, that's a tool. I think it's an unproven tool, kind of at this point. We've seen some good outcomes of AI model runs, and we've seen some bad ones too.
Yeah, this winter there were several major winter storms from even the ECMW, the European Models AI engine that never happened.
Sure.
And that has a tendency still to this day to have big day 8, 9, 10 storms that don't come to fruition.
Yeah.
And I believe it's because there's just only so much you can do here.
Yeah.
AI, not AI, human, non-human, beyond 144 hours of any weather forecast at all, you're getting into millions of variables. Billions of variables,
Oh, for sure. Well, I remember one of the things that we learned in college is, there's these set of equations and nobody can really solve them. Those are the equations that determine what the weather is going to be. And that's why there's so many different weather models. If we'd figured all that out, there'd be just one weather model and we'd always know what the weather was going to be.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Why would we have a different weather model in every major, country in the world? And every different governing agency in the world have the ability to run their version of a weather forecast because they think theirs is the best or whatever the case may be. And we talked about this a little bit on the last episode. We are so far away from being in a perfect science, it's not even really funny. I mean, we've come a hell of a long way.
Yeah.
There's no question. But as we talked about last episode, forecasting the development and the exact track of a tornado is never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to be possible.
Well, we really don't even know, and I know there's I think maybe some storm chaser groups trying to send probes or drones or something into tornadoes. We don't really have a good comprehension of the exact genesis of a tornado even. I remember, learning a little bit about that. Like, we know all the dynamics that go into it, but as it's happening, there's no way to really measure a tornado as it's happening.
Are you telling me that the new Twister movie, is not real?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not real.
And I think that people think that it is. I think people think you can manipulate it.
Well, and I think that goes to the next part of this topic that I wanted to talk about, which is there are some companies that are kind of marketing this AI, weather forecasting thing as better than anything else that's possible.
Yeah, you know why they're doing that?
Because it works in terms of, not the AI forecasting, that doesn't work. But people think that it's this incredible new technology.
Yeah, they're playing on that. They're the people that think that, that's what these companies are doing. In my opinion, it's because these companies lack any sort of innovative, just genetic makeup in their body. So it's like, we'll just do what everybody else does. AI, that's the answer. Well, yeah, of course, that's the easy route, and that's the route that everybody's focused on right now. But what's going to happen when people realize that they don't want to talk to a robot, and that, oh, by the way, the robot's missing it, and it's not as good as what you think it is, and now you've created your whole company, marketing scheme around machine learning generated AI weather forecasts. They're not very good.
No. Well, and they like we talked about at the beginning, they can't truly understand your circumstances, your feelings, your emotions, which is, I think, the biggest thing that we do is we try to build a relationship with people beyond just a weather forecast, because everybody's situation is different. And if everybody's situation is different and AI is, using what it knows from all the data input that's been in there, then it can't possibly know every single possible situation.
Well, let's look at it this way. Have you ever seen a tornado do the exact same thing that it did prior?
Oh,
For example, we had a tornado go through Henryville, Indiana, March 2nd, 2012, EF4. You know, have we had another tornado exactly like that take the exact same path on the exact same time with the exact same setup?
No.
Will we ever?
No. Every weather scenario is different.
Every single one. So that's my point to AI is, yes, it's learning, but every new situation it's fluid dynamics. So thermodynamics, I don't really understand how anything is ever going to know exactly how it's going to go. And so, you know, in my opinion, in our industry, if people are saying, you know, AI enhanced, we got our own satellite system and we got all, these are scamish terms, in my opinion. These are terms that are trying to get you to go and look at their platform and sign up, which, great, it's business. Welcome to America. Anyone can do what they want. Awesome. Good luck. But in my world, proprietary algorithms and AI and machine learning stuff, that makes me be like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you, let's take the European model, for example. There is more money and time invested into that weather model than almost probably all the weather models in the world combined.
Yeah, sure.
So you're telling me Joe Bob's Weather Company now has a better model than the European model that has tens of billions of dollars of invested research into
multiple different countries and multiple different researchers from different, I mean, the smartest people, you know, that they're getting in this space to run those weather models and make it better or try to make it better.
So all of a sudden a company comes along that's funded by a bunch of venture capitalists and they make the best weather model. It's hogwash.
Yeah.
It's pure crap.
Yeah.
And so that's why I see that and I'm like, okay, yeah, your weather model that's powered by 144 proprietary satellites that you've sent into space. I mean, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
It's probably satellites that are publicly available.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, I think that to sum all this up, buyer beware, right?
Yep.
Of people that are saying and selling AI weather data as this will change the game for you. Because it can't replace a human.
No. I have used and seen these AI weather-driven forecasts. You know, we've been at head-to-head at some RFPs with these companies, and we've seen their data.
Yeah.
We've used it, and it's the same data, man.
Yeah, it's the same data.
It's not any better. It's not any worse. It's just the same data. The only difference is with these other companies, you're getting basically 100% automation.
Yeah.
You're not getting a human.
Yeah. If you you know, if you want to talk to somebody, you're not going to get it.
Which is interesting. This wasn't. I have a feeling. I don't know. I don't think this was the point of our podcast, but it is true that is how it is. And listen, I don't care where you go and who you get it from. I really don't. I don't. I know what we do. I know, you know, there's enough for everybody to go around. Everybody's going to have their different preferences and stuff.
Sure.
So I really don't care because I know the truth about how it all works. It just doesn't grab me personally.
Yeah. So. Let me ask this in terms of weather models, because I do want to pivot to what's behind us here in a second, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I think that AI is not going to replace all of the weather models, right? It's not going to replace all the weather models. Do you think that it could down the road, I don't think we're there yet, at least improve them a little bit?
Yeah, I think there can be some skill score improvements and some bias corrections, which, by the way, we've done for years. Bias corrected data is nothing new.
Yeah.
You know, so...
might make it a little bit easier to do that.
May make it easier for the programmers and the coders to code this stuff up. Coding up weather models is a nightmare, and it's a very rare skill set. Not very many people can do it, and I think it can help. But listen, I mean, you think I can think back, Bret, to when you were probably in high school. The ESRL rolled out the GEFS reforecast version to
Yeah.
bias corrected model that was the big thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're correcting the errors and shifting it, and this is nothing new.
Yeah.
We've been doing this. I mean, AI might make it easier, but we've been trying to correct and manipulate weather data for probably 20 years.
Yeah.
So.
And we slowly, maybe you could argue this point, but maybe it gets a little bit better over time.
Agreed.
Maybe I would say maybe over the last 10 years, the rate of improvement, I feel like, just as a forecaster, I'm sure there's data that would disagree with this, but it feels like as a forecaster, it hasn't gotten that much better over the past 10 years.
Oh, without a doubt.
Maybe AI, if anything, could help tick that up a little bit.
Yep.
But the speed of improvement,
Yeah. I mean,
but it's not going to solve all the problems.
no, we've got like this brand new experimental RRFS model. I mean, that thing's terrible. You know, and it's what's scary is that's one of NOAA's possibly new flagship high-resolution weather model that's going to eliminate other skillful high-resolution weather models. And this thing paints the back porch red with blood every time it runs. I mean,
Yeah, it's Armageddon. It's the FV3 on steroids.
Yeah,
And
it's
for
bad.
those of you, if there's any meteorology students or meteorologists listening, the FV3 can produce Armageddon, the apocalypse, a couple of times a day, it seems like. So
and that's my point is, okay, it's 2025. We have AI. And we've got what's going on?
yeah,
It's not. I'll tell you right now. I can remember first getting into weather forecasting. 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, 14. That kind of that 4 to 5 year stretch. The European model, you couldn't beat it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it just hit it and it hit it and it hit it and it was so good. And then they started messing with it. They started applying upgrades and different, 3D variation scans, the way they're looking at that.
ocean.
Coupled with the ocean. All the stuff they've done over the last 10 years, in my opinion, I would argue it has hurt that model's ability to forecast.
Yeah, I feel like there's been not much progress in terms of day-to-day operational forecasting. Maybe some on the hurricane side. I feel like that's probably one area things have gotten a little bit better. Just if you go back and you look at like the spread in the cone on Katrina versus like what we had with maybe Milton or.
But even some of those, man,
Yeah.
they're progressively, AI did not, last year hurricane forecast, AI was nothing. It did not do good.
No.
I mean, so, you can take all that, and it's just, I always, the old saying, you can take that and $1.09 and get you a cup of coffee at McDonald's. I don't even know, $1.09 may not buy a coffee anymore.
Probably not.
Probably like $2.09.
$2.99, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, I think that, I think at the end of the day, the human element and being able to analyze these weather models and the need for us as meteorologists, AI is not going to replace meteorologists. I know there are some careers, perhaps, that you might need to be a little bit more nervous about how AI could make or break some people in terms of simplifying the need for certain positions. But
in the customer service world,
Yeah.
it's going to be a problem. And I'm not saying it's the route businesses should take, because I don't think that it is. But a lot of businesses will take that route.
yeah,
I mean, you look at the grocery stores, like, you don't need cashiers anymore. It's
a lot of them don't.
Yeah, you
A lot
don't
of
need them. We're getting, so yeah, we could go on and on about that, but you're never going to be able to replace the human element. Yeah.
Which brings us to this, which some of you that are watching the video will put out on YouTube later, probably wondering what synoptic weather is. And synoptic weather is going to be the platform as we continue to analyze weather model data over the years and years and years and years to come and come up with our own custom analyses as forecasters. This is going to be the place to get weather model data.
Yep. Yeah, especially formulated or formatted for mobile device, rapid navigation on the site, looking at the different weather models, parameters, no domains, no restrictions, animations, drawings. We'll have interactive dynamics, QTs, and soundings. Plans to have every weather model under the sun on the site. ECMWF data, all the stuff. But the cool thing about Synoptic is some of the ideas coming that I can't talk about that's going to really change the weather model, weather forecasting industry in specific, and even the enthusiasts, storm chasers. There's going to be a feature coming with Synoptic Weather that will set it apart. You won't even be able to wrap your head around what it's going to do. It's very exciting. So I think we're going to open it up here in a few days for early bird use and registration, right?
Beta use.
Beta use.
So I think it's free. It's going to be free at first to use.
I think so.
I think that if I'm wrong, don't quote me on that, but I think that the first users can get in and kind of experiment with it a little bit. And we've already been using it some in-house, and it definitely is going to make things, I think, easier for for our meteorologists that are using it to do forecast videos for clients and analyze things, just that drawing tool on there and the ability to zoom in and out. I mean, we've kind of been stuck for so long of trying to, do everything we can to give our users and our clients and the people that pay us the most detail possible. And it's hard to do that when you can't easily zoom in and out of a map. And that is just in and of itself is such a game changer, I think. To be able to zoom right down into a location, Matt's talking about flurries or freezing drizzle or scattered showers and say, okay, instead of a 16-state map that we were limited to before, okay, we'll just zoom right down into the area and circle it using a drawing tool that's built into the platform. It's so cool.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be a game changer, and it'll be affordable. It'll be cheaper than some of the stuff out there, and it'll be so much better, it's almost comical. I mean, honestly, like in comparison to what we've used for a decade, it ain't even going to be close. So, very excited for Synoptic, the launch of it. Be sure to look out for that later this week. You can register. Man, I tell you, great topic today. It's something for those of you, weather impacts you on a day-to-day basis. Just be aware, okay? If you're an event coordinator and you have 50,000 people that come to, let's say, a concert at your venue, and you're relying on AI and automation for weather safety and consultation, you are flirting with disaster, literally natural disaster. It is not what it's made out to be. You're going to get caught with your pants down, and you're not going to like the outcome. I've seen it. I watch it. I've been in this space for 14 years, and AI has a lot of capability, but it has a lot of things that it can't do as well. So that's my take on it.
And I think that's the perfect way to sum it up. Guys, thank you all for watching episode 3 of Beyond the Forecast. Be sure again to subscribe to our YouTube page. Give us a review on the podcast. 5 stars would be fantastic if you will. 5 stars. 5 stars are great. And we will see you soon, and be on the lookout for Synoptic Weather.